couple videos ago, I played a game where I held one barony the entire time, raised the kingdom of man, and became ridiculously strong all in around 75 years. But still, the YouTube comments were unhappy. Guys, I know I chose a powerful barony with an OP decision. I say in the video I was trying to pick a place that would have some exciting gameplay so that you, the viewer of the video, would be entertained. But if you really want to watch a 30-minute long video of me sitting on my hands in a feudal barony waiting for buildings to finish, then who am I not to give the people what they want? Alright, so here we are in the map selection, and there really aren't too many places that have both a county with only one barony in them that are also feudal. What I'm going to do is play as this tiny island off the coast of Spain in the middle of the Mediterranean. So here we are in our little tiny one barony county. For this video, the only way we're ever going to be able to amass any strength at all is to just go full into development and research, because if we are able to move up the tech tree faster than the people around us, we'll be able to get these upgrades, which will let us upgrade the buildings in our one county, and the upgraded buildings will give us more gold and troops, so maybe we'll have a fighting chance if we spend all our time in the early game just going for development. So because of that, the first thing I'm going to do is switch my Stewart onto increased development in the county. But look at this guy right here. He has one stewardship. That is so bad.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
We'll definitely have to swap him with this person here. You can see over here we do have a kid, and he has bossy, which normally I really like, but I'm going to switch him over on a learning education focus because like I said, we're powering hard for research this game, so I want all my characters to have good learning for that. For our lifestyle focus, the first thing I'm going to do, well, see, the first thing I was going to do was go down golden obligations, because this way we have another source of income, which will be these hooks. But since we already have this picked up, I think it would be good to go down the scholarship focus, because this gives us another 15% boost to our development growth, as well as an increase in our learning. So right now, if we look at our culture, we are definitely not the culture head. You can see that the Visigoth culture is currently being run by this king over here, and he has a lot more counties than us. But one thing we can do is once we get 500 prestige, we can switch our ethos and be able to diverge our own culture, meaning that our research speed will only depend on the development in this one tiny county right here. So one other thing I was able to do was I had to look through my court to see if I had any women courters who weren't married, and you can see like this lady right here. What we can do with them is actually set up marriages and sort for specific traits. So my steward had a skill of 11, but I was able to do this with another one of my courters, and I actually found a better steward with a 19 stewardship. And the reason that that is important is because our steward is the person who's responsible for increasing the development in my one county. So having somebody with 19 stewardship gets us a boost of plus 2.9 development per month, which, considering we just started this game, is really good. Okay, so I have 150 gold now. I'm going to go ahead and buy my first building, and normally I would go for a farms and fields here, or if I needed military, I'd do a barracks. But I think for my first building in this game, I'm going to go with a trade ports, because they actually gain me another further plus 5% to my development growth. So getting these early is going to be really important for my game. Okay, so I do have my spy master finding secrets currently in West Francia, I'm pretty sure. And it looks like we found a secret with these people right here. The first hurdle of finding secrets is that you have to put them in a court that actually has secrets, but the second hurdle is these people who you find secrets for actually have to have money. So luckily for us, this guy has 59 gold, meaning that if we go over here and blackmail him, you can see we have a 61% chance that he will accept this blackmail. Let's see if it goes through.
Gotcha, bitch!
And it looks like we did get a hook on him. So now if we right click him, we have this option right here to demand payment from him, and he will be giving us a 50 gold payment for us not to release the information. So if our spy master is able to find enough secrets from people who have a lot of money, we will have a very steady income from that the entire game. So it looks like this region right over here switched over to the Catalan culture. Now if we look at it, it actually costs us 1,000 prestige now if we were to diverge. I'm pretty sure the way the cost, this is determined by how big your culture is. So if you have a really big culture, it's easier to diverge. So it's going to be a bit more expensive, but we should still be able to get to 1,000 prestige without too much trouble. And we found another secret in France. It looks like the French have a lot of secrets they're trying to keep covered up. Yeah, so this guy right here has 136 gold. We can blackmail him, 80% chance, and it went through, which is perfect. So we can get another 50 gold from this guy. That is absolutely perfect. In just 1 month, we have another 150 gold, meaning I can now build my farms and fields, which will help our income pretty. It will help our income a lot. Okay, so our crops and fields just finished, and now you can see we're making 2.3 gold. So we already more than doubled our gold income since the beginning of the game. And this should only increase further and further the more buildings we make and the more buildings we upgrade over here. For our next building, I think what I'm going to go for is the hunting grounds. This gains us a little bit more of a military, but what I care more about is the tax that it gets us. And it only costs 100 gold, so it's pretty decent value. The other thing we're going to be doing a lot in this game is asking for money from the Pope. And you can see right here, we can spend 250 piety for 100 gold. Quite a good return on investment there for us. So I am saving up to 225 gold here because I want to upgrade my small harbors, like you can see here, to level 2 because it nets me a further another 5% in terms of our development. I think what I should also do is probably go on a hunt to gain a little bit more prestige, because remember, if I get 1,000 prestige, I should be able to diverge our culture over here, and that's going to help us a lot in terms of our research speed, because right now this other guy, actually our neighbor, is the head of our Catalan culture, and he's choosing all our research, and he is doing it very slowly. So I'm making sure to set up a couple alliances over here with my 2 kids, because I am very weak. You'll notice we only have 385 soldiers, and if anybody wanted to take our land, they pretty much could. So having these 2 alliances should help with any wars that get declared on us, because right now I am doing a super greedy play and spending all of my money and gold on my buildings and development in order to get this rolling. For my final building, I'm going to go with the walls and towers. I know they're not the most efficient or best building. Honestly, if I really care about my military, I'd probably go for a barracks. But I don't mind the plus 0.2 gold per month. And I like to have nice walls around my county. What can I say? I think it would be really cool if we just have like a really strong defensive castle on this tiny island. Because whenever somebody attacks our island, they do get the -30 to the advantage modifier from coming off of a boat. So even if we have a much smaller army than our enemies, which I think we will have the entire game, we could beat armies that are quite a bit bigger than us.
Excellent.
There we go. So now that's 3 more hooks we can use to demand payments for. So that's 50 gold from this guy, 15 gold from this guy, 15 gold from this lady, and 10 gold from this lady. Here it looks like we can ask the Pope for money again, so that's another 172 gold that we're gonna get. And look at that. Look at these walls. They looked so bad before, and they look so nice now. Okay, so we have 1,000 gold, which is big news, because now what we can do is actually diverge our culture. And although I can't change any of these traditions, which none of these are amazing really, this one might actually come in handy a little bit. But what I will do is switch the ethos of our culture, because right now it's on courtly, which, I mean, not awful, but doesn't help us in this game much. And I'm going to switch this on to bureaucratic, because as you can see right here, we actually get an increase in our learning lifestyle focus, research speed from the cultural fascination, and then a 15% boost to our development growth. And right when I was reading that, I see that I cannot do that because this culture is still not 100 years old. Oh man, that actually sucks a lot, because we switched to the Catalan culture. Oh my goodness. So it looks like we switched 2 years from the start of the game, from Visigothic to our current culture. So that means we would have to wait till the year 967 to be able to diverge from these guys.
One eternity later.
So the year is currently 968, and we are finally 1 year away from being able to diverge our culture. But don't worry guys, you didn't really miss too much in that 100 years. And we lost a crusade. You'll notice that in terms of our techs, we advanced a little bit. You can see we have 1 of 17 done for the early medieval era, and we have only about a year left for communal government, which is going to help further with our development. But the one tech that we chose to research was battlements, which is the tech that allowed us to upgrade our castle to tier 2. And you will notice that even though we don't have manorialism, which is the tech you normally need to upgrade your economic buildings, we still have a level 4 trade port in our 1 barony. And that is because our culture has this tradition right here, which you can see lets our trade ports be constructed 1 era early. So that means we don't have to get manorialism to be able to upgrade them. You can see we're making 20% from having this building right here. And you will also notice we were able to increase our development all the way up to 22, but I'm really excited to be able to finally make our own culture. If I look at the culture screen, you can see these are all the counties with our culture. So even though we have 22 over here, you'll notice that these our neighbors on this island still only have 4 development in their 2 counties. So they're really weighing our high development down. And once we are able to make our own culture, you should see this research speed right here go up by a ton. You'll now notice we can diverge our culture, but before we do that, I just finished researching the tech I was choosing. So now we have a brand new technology here, and you can see it would take 16 years to be able to finish this research. But let's see how long it would take after we diverge our culture. So the main reason I wanted to diverge our culture in the first place is because we have the courtly ethos, which honestly isn't the best for us, doesn't really help us with anything, and I want to change it to the bureaucratic one, which will help with our monthly lifestyle experience, as well as our cultural fascination and development growth. So it helps a lot with our research speed. So I'm going to go ahead and press this button right here.
Here we go!
And we now are the culture head for our own culture. So if we go over to the tech, which we are currently researching, you can see it now only takes us 9 years because our average development went from 0.16 to all the way to 0.44. So now we will really start to be gaining power. Okay, so it looks like our ruler died at the age of 69. He lived a pretty good life, and now we get to play as our genius son, who actually has 40 learning of his own. What I was thinking of doing was always staying in the learning lifestyle focus because we would get this extra 15% to our development growth. But what I think might actually be better is if I spend a little bit of time in the stewardship tree just to be able to pick up this centralization perk here, because this will gain us a 0.3 development per month in our capital. And after I get that, I can switch back over to learning to get that 15% again. I'm also going to make our daughter and player heir our court physician, because hopefully she'll be able to pick up some of these nice physician traits, which both give her a boost in health, but also to learning. And we are all about learning in this game. So I'm taking a look at these innovations, and it looks like the high medieval era we cannot unlock until 1050 AD. At the pace we are currently conducting research, you can see we're going to finish this in 3 years. We're going to finish this in 15 years without even researching it. We should definitely be able to unlock most, if not all, of these techs in early medieval before we get to high medieval. We also just finished the tier 4 walls in our capital. Oh, and look at this, we have another crusade. Okay, here we go. Crusade is beginning. Let's raise all our men and run them over there. So the first crusade we did, we took a fat L, but hopefully the Pope learned from his mistakes and we'll be able to win this time. It looks like we do have a slightly larger army than them. Hopefully that will be enough.
I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm tired of fucking losing, dude.
Oh boy. Don't leave me hanging here, Pope, please. God damn it. Well, at least we're able to unlock manorialism, which means we can upgrade both these farms and fields, and we can also upgrade these hunting grounds, which will grant us more men, because we do have a shortage of men right now. Okay, that debuff on our capital looks like it went away, and you can now see we're making 3.3 development per month, which is very, very good. Okay, so it looks like we did finally die. We're going to be playing as our daughter here, who is pretty decent. She is also a genius with the novice physician trait. The only thing is she's a drunkard and pregnant. I'm not sure if those mix very well together, but you know, who am I to judge? And our current development is all the way at 30 right now. Look at that. Rome is only at 31 and Constantinople is at 33. So we are almost the most developed land in the whole world. Okay, so I just got pregnant again at the age of 42. Not sure how realistic that is, but I will not complain considering both my sons are not the best options for ruling my realm. And it looks like we just unlocked another tech, so we are actually only 3 techs away from advancing to High Medieval, from being able to advance to High Medieval, although we will have to wait till 1050 AD to do that. Yes, so finally we have a genius son. That is perfect. I think I will stop educating this child instead for the genius one because I obviously care about the smarter kid more. Ooh, this one has a 20% chance to accept taking the vows. Oh, but look at this. If we ask him to take the vows now that he's 16, he actually has 75% chance to do it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and risk it. Yeah, so he accepted. So he's going to be a monk. Very nice. And... NANI? Whoa! I was going to say... So now we'll just have to disinherit this son here, and then we'll be able to play as our genius son. But it looks like we are getting invaded right now. So you can see they have a military strength of 1,500, but they do have allies, which will probably take it, which brings their military strength up to around 3,000, I want to say. They do have a lot of allies. What I can actually do is try to set up some alliances of my own, like this guy here who will have 2,500 men. So we'll call him into the war. And another thing we could do if we see their armies coming for us is buy some mercenaries, because we do have 500 gold. So we could buy these most expensive mercenaries, which give us another 2,000 men. But we'll wait and see. Oh, and we even have a house member.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
We even have a house member here who we can call in to the war as well. Hopefully all these guys who I just called in will get here before these invaders get here.
Hello there.
And yeah, so look at that. We have a nice 3,000 men now. Okay, I see them sailing. Are they going to come and attack us finally?
It's okay, Rocky. You go when you feel like it.
Okay, so these guys are not coming to attack us, so I think I'm going to go attack them because I'm pretty sure we'll be able to take them if our allies come with us.
Nope.
Uh-oh. That was a mistake, because now they're invading us. But now if we attack them, taking our land, we should win. And there we go. So we did hit 100%. We didn't have to do too much in that war. I think because we called in those allies, they were just too scared to attack us. So unfortunately, this son, we won't be able to enforce him to join the Holy Order or become a monk. So I think what I'm going to have to do is disinherit him, because his learning just is not good enough to be our heir. So we're going to be playing as our genius son, who I actually picked up the diligent trait on him. So that's going to be good because we can use this decision right here to develop our capital and further increase the development that we gain here per month.
Oh, great heavens!
What? Sorry, why? Why is Aquitaine declaring war on me with 12,000 men? That is definitely not good. Who is he even allied to who has that much strength? All of Francia. Okay. But he can't call Francia in, right? Because they're his liege? I'm pretty sure he can't call Francia in. So that means that he has 11,000 minus Francia's 7.5k men. So that actually might be salvageable. Okay, so unfortunately, we don't have any alliances right now, but we could set a new one up with somebody, and we'll want to make sure it's not somebody who won't be able to actually join the war. So this guy might work. 4,000 men, really? Okay, let's set up an alliance with this guy with almost 5k men. We just have to watch to see if and when these guys send their troops in to our island. It's kind of scary because they're going to pop out of like the fog of war here. Oh. What? So I was trying to pay attention to when that was going to happen and I was going to raise my troops. But it looks like I didn't even have to because these guys just jumped in there for me. Let's go, my allies. And it looks like these guys were only able to call in Spain and their other allies. See, they can't bring the whole Empire of Francia in because they're a vassal of Francia. Okay, so our heir actually turned 16 and he got astute intellectual. It's not the 4-star one, but I don't think he can get the 4-star one unless he has the right childhood trait to get it. So we'll take this for sure. So I'm getting really nervous here and I'm actually playing the game on ×4 speed, which is like blasphemy for me. At any point, an enemy army could run out of the fog and war and just completely attack us. And it looks like they're gaining some strength. Like they have over 4,000 men now. And our allies actually diminished in strength somehow. So we only have a total army of 2,200 men. So if they were to attack us, even with our defensive bonuses, I'm pretty sure we would not win. Oh, and look at this. We have an army coming in. Okay, so these guys over here with these other guys who are in the fog of war are definitely coming to attack us. What I have to do before they come in is hire a bunch of mercenaries. I don't want to go overboard, but I definitely don't want to take too little mercenaries. Ooh, so this guy here is good value because he also has high martial. So let's hire him. Costs us 300 gold, but we have over 1,000 saved up. If we merge our armies, you can see we have a 33 skilled commander now, and our total force is almost 4,000 men. So look at that. They were about to come in, but they stopped.
Loser, loser.
And now they're just sitting there because they don't know what to do because we are just too strong for them. Look at these absolute idiots. They're just wasting their supplies.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
They're actually starving to death. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Or are they dumb? Just go back home. Retreat. Give up. Don't let all your men die. That is too funny. I mean, it serves them right.
Get back, Zelda!
And there we go. So we won that war also. And we gained 300 gold from that. That pretty much paid off for those, that pretty much paid for all those mercenaries we hired. It looks like my son had a son and he actually has the curious trait. So I'm not sure why he's not in our court, but we will invite him so we can educate him personally and put him on a learning education focus, which you can see is green because curious gives a boost to learning education focuses. Is third time the charm with Jerusalem Crusades? I guess we're gonna find out. This time the Pope has to not run in there before the rest of our army comes. If he just waits for everybody, it would be perfect. And of course he just jumps in like a complete idiot. But if these guys also jump in, we might have a chance. So I guess I will jump in too. And we do actually get a pretty big win. Whoops. So I got distracted. I wasn't paying attention. It looks like we got stack wiped by 27,000 men. Our measly army of 1,000 men got absolutely destroyed. But it looks like the Pope is still completely lost here and he is not going to win this crusade at all. So our grandson just turned 16 and he actually did get the Mastermind Philosopher trait, which is the best one of the education traits. And he already has 23 learning at the age of 16. That is quite good. And there we go. It looks like we finally died at the age of 79. So we're playing as our 34-year-old son. And it looks like he did actually go down the scholar tree so far, which is quite good. So in just 4 months, we will have researched every innovation available to us. And we will just be sitting on our hands for another 14 years until we can move on to the high medieval era. So because I actually am a character who has the diligent perk, I can run this develop capital decision. And what it will do is increase our development in our capital by 0.2 per month, which is actually pretty important because we are getting to the point where we aren't getting that much development because we're above our soft development cap, which is determined by these techs right here. You can see we have a maximum existing development penalty, which is at 35, and we now have 36 development. So I just picked up the centralization perk from the stewardship tree, and now you can see we're gaining almost 2 development per month, which is quite big considering we're still above our soft cap for development. Okay, so it's officially 1050 AD, and in just 4 years we'll be able to start researching these new high medieval texts. Okay, big milestone here, guys. We just hit 38 development in our capital, and you can see Rome has 36, and the Byzantines have 37 in Constantinople. So we are now officially the most developed realm in the whole game, and we are one tiny island. Okay, so we just entered the high medieval era, and the first thing I'm going to research is hoardings, because that's going to let me upgrade my castle here to the tier 3. So it's going to take 8 years from 0, which is actually quite good. Oh, so we actually died in a hunting accident, but I'm not too mad because I think this character is even better than our last one, considering we have the mastermind philosopher trait. The only problem is he's a bit stressed. He has been whipping himself quite a lot, and it looks like he unfortunately went down the theologian tree, and I don't really want to reset his perks because he's already stressed enough as it is, so we'll just have to slowly go down the scholar tree on our own. Okay guys, so I just finished researching hoardings, which is the early medieval tech that lets me upgrade my castle. So I'm going to go ahead and run that right now. You can see we are running a negative gold income right now, but that's because I just built 4 regiments of these armored horsemen, which we just unlocked. And you can see they have ridiculously high strength. So although our army will not be big this game, hopefully it will be nice and compact. And the next thing we're going to research is advanced bow making, which you can see will finish in just 8 years. And this will give us access to crossbowmen, who are an amazing upgrade over bowmen. I think if I get this and then maybe the men-at-arms tech, that gives me another regiment for my men-at-arms. I'll pick up those crossbowmen, and then we might just be strong enough to take on some of these big kingdoms around us. So I just finished the castle up here, the upgrade to tier 3 castles, and you can see I can now upgrade my trade ports all the way to tier 6, which is going to be nice because you can see that will get me 30% development increase in our capital, where we have already 40 development. Okay, so it's Aquitaine is declaring war on us because he has the duchy over here, and we're part of that duchy. But I think if we raise all our men, we should be able to defend against this guy, because it looks like he only has 3,500 men, and we have a lot less, but look how strong this army is. We got a lot of armored footmen, some very strong knights, and a bunch of other men-at-arms types in here. Okay, so I missed the moment where he jumped in, but he jumped in and attacked us with his army, and look at this advantage modifier. You can see we're getting an increase in our damage of 106%, mainly because they have to disembark to attack our county, like I've explained before. But another thing that's helping a lot is this building right here, the hunting grounds. You can see it gives us a +8 defender advantage, and our commander is really, really good as well. So let's see what happens in this battle. Again, he attacked us with more than half the amount of men we had, but you can see we're absolutely obliterating him. So look at that, we only lost 300 men while we killed over 1,000 in that battle, even though, like I said, he had more than double the amount of troops we had. So here again, you can see they're camped right outside our borders, but they don't want to bring their army in because they know we're too strong for them. And that will let the war score tick to 100%, so we can now enforce our demands. We get 500 gold from defending that war, which is pretty huge because you can see we do have to run a pretty big deficit to be able to raise our army. Mainly because our army is so heavy on men-at-arms right now, and we don't have that much gold income because, again, we only have 1 county. So I'm looking around for people we might be able to invade, and it's crazy, but the Byzantines are actually pretty weak right now. So we might actually be able to take them after some of these wars they're in are over. You can see they have a lot of old people in charge.
I'm dying. Help me.
And they only have 1 alliance right now. So I'm going to see what happens in this war for this old lady's claim. But even her, she is not that strong on her own. Honestly, if we could take the capital of the Byzantine Empire, I think that would be pretty awesome. It looks like the Byzantines finally finished their independence wars and claimant wars, and now they have this guy in charge who does not look amazing. They have a total military right now of around 5,000 of their own men, plus a couple alliances that aren't too strong as well. So it honestly might be a good time to attack them. So I'm currently fabricating a claim on Constantinople, and I'm going to start setting up marriages with all of my brothers and sisters, because right now they're not married. So I'm just going to sort by alliance power and send off as many proposals as I can. Some of these guys aren't too strong, but they each have around 3,000, 4,000 men. So if we call all of these guys into our war when the time is right, we might just have enough strength to attack the Byzantines and take Constantinople from them. We just finished researching men-at-arms, but what we can do is go over to our men-at-arms groupings and pick up some of these delicious crossbowmen for only 88 gold per regiment. I think I'll get 6 of these guys. I'll upgrade the rest of my heavy infantry as well and pick up a couple more of the light horsemen. And I guess some of these mangonels as well. So now you can see we're running a huge deficit. Hopefully when these guys fill out to their max, we won't be running a deficit in gold. I'll have to see what happens. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is get one more gold infusion from the Pope here, bring our total gold up to 500, and then we will be ready to declare our war on the Byzantines. You can see it says they have 8,000 troops, but you can see we have almost 15,000 men with our 4 allies. So I'm going to go ahead and declare the war. We're going to be in a huge gold deficit when we raise all of our men, but hopefully we'll have enough of a positive. Hopefully we have enough gold stored up so that we can run this war for long enough that we can take the capital here. So I'm going to go ahead and call all of my allies into this war. Let's raise all our army here. Look at that gold deficit we're now running, minus 17. That is pretty bad, but look how strong this army is. And we have a bunch of really strong knights, and I just married my daughter to this guy here who is a commander skill of 27. So let's sail over there. I'm not sure why these guys are sailing up here.
Are you out of your mind?
And look at this, our allies are now taking the castle. It's going to take quite a while because they do have a huge fort level here, but it already looks like we're halfway there. That is pretty big. And he's already offering us a white piece. That's so funny. So we took that. To help offset this gold problem that we're having, I'm actually going to switch off of stewardship because I got the perks that we wanted from the strategist tree, and I think going under wealth focus will actually help reduce this gold deficit that we're running. I'm not sure where the Byzantines army is. I'm trying to fight these guys, but they look a little bit scared of us. Okay, and right here they were trying to raise an army, but we were able to jump in before they were able to finish raising it, so that's a free bunch of kills right from that battle. And our gold is starting to tick into the negatives. This is not looking good. We have another Byzantine army here, a small one. Should be pretty easy to kill, and we're already at 75%. This is huge. I have to wait another few months before I'm able to ask the Pope for money, but hopefully that will set us back into positive gold income. I can ask the Pope for 200 gold here. That'll turn us into the positives for gold, so we actually should be set up to win this war against the Byzantines. Okay, we hit 100%, but I want to attack the whole Byzantine army here before the war ends, just to get this nice battle in. I think it'll end on a really fun note. So here we go, we're attacking them with a plus 51 advantage modifier because they just came off a boat, because our marshal is amazing. So let's watch this battle play out. With us and all of our 9,000 allies running in here fighting the Byzantines. So there we go, we stack wipe them. We can now enforce our demands, disband our army, and look at this. We have now taken Constantinople for ourselves. How awesome is that? So on that note, guys, I think I will be ending the episode with Constantinople under the control of our one castle barony land. The only problem with a game like this is our gold income wasn't very high the whole time. We were kind of at the end very stressing about not going into too much of a negative so we wouldn't get penalties in our battles, but we were able to pull off the victory anyways. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. See you in the next one. Peace out.